Hey, what's up guys? Bobbington here. I'm gonna be showcasing my Cast on Crit CoCrain character. Everyone on stream has been asking about it. They want to see the guide, so here it is. I told you guys I would make it this morning, so we're going to just gonna run a T8 Canyon map. I'm currently level 79. This is the Parandus Hardcore League. My life is kind of low, but to be fair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The next like levels all the way till 90 are gonna be life points. So that's pretty much how that goes. The spells I've chose for the Cast on Crit is Freeze Pulse and Arc, and I really like the way Freeze Pulse works with CoCrain because of the insane prod speed that you get. The damage has been really insane, and you know, a lot of people would say to use EK. I've played with both EK and Freeze Pulse. I've played with the Spark, and I've actually really preferred the Freeze Pulse to anything else that I've run. It seems to give me a lot of damage. I like how the projectiles are always piercing, and that's another reason why I like Arc. I'm not a big fan of the Spark, even though I am using GMP for the Freeze Pulse. Oh, the returns. And a lot of people as well have. Well, I was using Barrage. To be honest, I was using Barrage before I started using Blast Rain, but ever since I put in Blast Rain, it's felt a lot better than Barrage for some reason. Even though GMP doesn't really affect it at all. It really has felt a lot stronger than the Barrage did. I'll talk about leveling while we're in the map, just so I don't have to do that post-map. Pretty much for leveling this character, I just did, what is that damn skill? Blade Vortex until I got my Cruel Ascendancy, and the reason you need Cruel Ascendancy before you start doing Cast on Crit is because CoCrain's crit strike chance is extremely low. It's a 5%, and it's pretty hard to scale that up. So you need to get the Assassin Ascendancy points, which give you, the increase to base crit strike chance per power charge that you have. And since I'm gonna have as many power charges as I can get, almost, without having incredibly expensive gear. Oh, the returns. My crit chance gets up to, where is it? 82% with the Blast Rain. My spells are basically crit cap. So we're pretty much critting all over the place, and that's why things are dying so easily. I got a Brodero up here. Nothing good. Yeah, the clear speed feels really nice, even in, enfeebled maps and more Monster Life maps. It does feel really nice. The survivability feels good. We don't have Life Leech linked, and the reason that is because we are dual curse with Warlord's Mark and Assassin's Mark. That's pretty much the map though, but we've got, 3 endurance charges pretty much all the time with the cast on damage taken setup, Mortal Call, increased duration, etc. It does feel really safe. Reflect doesn't pose a threat because I've got Spell Dodge, I've got the Life Leech, I've got Bow Pact. We're doing incredible amounts of damage with that. As far as gear goes for this character, it's not very expensive. I mean, a solid CoCrain like this, will cost you upwards of 10C, which in my opinion doesn't cost that much. Tabula Rasa, just corrupted. You don't really need anything. If you want to go expensive, you can get like, a 6-link Lightning Coil, or you can get a 6-link whatever else you want, Cartridge Jack. It's really up to you. Or you can go +1 Tabula to, get more damage on your Freeze Pulse, get more damage on your Arc. But it's really not that necessary. You're going to do plenty of damage. We do use Face Breakers, and the reason that is because of the 90 crit multi. 90 crit multi is an insane amount of damage because of how often you're critting. Your spells basically have capped crit strike chance. Your Freeze Pulse and your Arc are going to have, I think Arc has like 92, and Freeze Pulse has capped crit, which is 95. So your spells are basically always going to be critting with that 90 crit multi. It just becomes insane. Helm, you're just going to want resist life. Ring, resist life. You're going to want some accuracy on one of your rings, and the reason that is because your chance to hit is not going to be too insane because you aren't going to be using a Vagan Dagger or anything. So we do have 89% chance to hit, but with how often you're attacking, I feel like that is good enough. I feel really comfortable with 89% chance to hit. You know, more resist, more life on a ring, more resist, more life on a boot. Same with belt, resist, life. Quiver, you don't need LE damage with weapons. You need crit strike chance, crit multi, life, and whatever. You don't even have to have the resist if you can make up for that somewhere else. This quiver really did not cost that much. Maybe like 5 or 6 C for this quiver. Quivers are extremely cheap right now, which is another reason I wanted to try cast on crit with quivers, or with the bow, because you can get, you know, quivers like this for not very much at all. Like 87 life, 25 cold res, 31 crit multi, and 46% crit strike chance? No, 56% crit strike chance. So you pretty much get all that you're, you know, wanting from a quiver. The quiver is a really important part of the build. The crit multi and the crit are insane. But again, it's pretty much, you know, CoCrain and quiver and a 6-link. You are going to need a 6-link for this build, and you are going to have to run dual curse with Blasphemy, Warlord's Mark, and Assassin's Mark. Assassin's Mark because, you know, it's going to have, enemies are going to have an increased chance to take a crit strike, and they're going to have increased damage from crit strikes, which you're pretty much always critting with, you know, Assassin's Mark and how much crit strike chance you have on your Blast Rain, etc. That increased crit strike multi from Assassin's Mark is pretty insane. It's also going to keep it to where you have all 7 of your power chargers throughout the entire map. Warlord's Mark is going to give us that life leech that we need to sustain, you know, getting hit by mobs. And it's going to allow us to be able to run, you know, GMP, so we can use Freeze Pulse. So I think going dual curse is the best option with this. So you can do the GMP Freeze Pulse. I think Freeze Pulse is one of the strongest spells for cast on crit. A lot of people would argue differently, but it feels extremely comfortable, especially when your Freeze Pulse flies, you know, 4 screens away because it has 150% prod speed. And it's pretty much perma-freezing things, you know, 4 screens away. Warlord's Mark is also going to keep our endurance charges pretty much up fully. We'll have 3 of them pretty much the entire map, which will make our cast on damage taken Immortal Call with increased duration last even longer. So that's pretty much that. Oh, and as far as necklace goes, you're pretty much just going to want life and resist. The crit strike chance, I would say try to get crit multi instead of the crit, because crit multi is going to give you more damage. I do need to upgrade my necklace. It's pretty shitty in terms of, for this build, not a shitty necklace, but for this build it is not that good. As far as potions go, I've just got a bubbling divine and a seething staunching for hollow flask. Pretty, you know, regular flasks to have as a hardcore character. Aziri's Promise is going to give you that extra elemental damage, and it's going to give you that extra leech. Really nice to have. Aziri's Promise, I would say a definite must for the build. Quicksilver, you don't have to have a Quicksilver if you want to be more defensive. You can. I feel like goodness gracious, what was that? I feel like I like the move speed because it gives me more clear speed. So I prefer Quicksilver. You can do a defensive flask if you want, like Stib Knight, or really whatever it is you want. Granite. You could even throw in a what is that flask? The lightning one. God, I cannot think of it right. Vinctor's flask. You could even use that. And then a diamond flask, and that's going to give us increased damage. And it's going to allow you to get your power charges going at the start of the map. So when you do start the map, you can just pop this, and you're basically going to crit. So you can get your power charges up and keep those up throughout the rest of the map. But yeah, as far as passive skill tree goes, basically starting out, I just went through the LE damage because we are going to be doing, you know, predominantly LE damage. I got the Blood Siphon node. I went down and got Coordination. Basically went like this to start. Decided to come out through the crit, come out and get more life. I got the spell crit early because I was, again, using Blade Vortex to level with. I basically used Spark from level 1 to 12, and then level 12, I just popped in Blade Vortex until like level 50 to 60. Whenever you finish your second Cruel Ascendancy, so you can get Deadly Infusion. Came over here, got the life. This, unfortunately, is like the best way you can path through Witch. I don't really need any of the AoE. I guess the 10% increased AoE is nice for the Blast Frame, but this isn't like really necessary. Again, I could go through here, but I think the 10% increased AoE is nice for the Blast Frame, so you might as well just go through here and use an extra point on the area damage. You don't really need to. You can go this way if you want to save a point, but again, both of these nodes are completely useless for the build, so it's really up to you how you want to do that. Again, I didn't pick up this Power Charge yet. Got more life. Came over here. Got more life. Pretty much got the LE damage. Celestial Judgment and Celestial Punishment are insane for this build, and I'll explain that why in just a second. Got the more LE damage and more life. And then I started to fill in, the power charges, the power charge, the 4% increased spell damage per power charge with 7 power charges. That's going to give you 28% spell damage, which is insane because you're going to have the power charges up 100%. Came back down, got more power charges, started to fill out that life, started to get some more accuracy, some crit chance. Got Val Pack because this is where we started to hit maps. Reflected, start to get a little bit scary. You're going to have to watch out for that before you get Val Packed. But now we have our acrobatics, face acrobatics. We've pretty much got our dodge, which now Reflect is pretty much, not going to be doing shit to us at all. And pretty much, again, we are level 79. Not very high level at the moment. Still leveling the character. But pretty much every level now is just going to be life. Going to be getting life here, going to be getting life here. And that's pretty much it. Any levels past that, I might grab this life. You really don't need much else on the tree. So our life is going to shoot up, over 5k once we start hitting the mid and higher levels of 80s. But yeah, the build is incredibly fun, incredibly fast-paced. Oh, and you're going to get the dual curse too for your Assassins and Warlords Mark. The build is incredibly fun, incredibly fast-paced. It's really pleasing to the eye, in my opinion. Everything's going to be frozen. Everything's going to be shocked. Shocked, you're going to do increased damage. Frozen, defensive mechanic. Really like freezing things. Feels really good. And that's going to give you, that increased damage because frozen, shocked enemies are going to take, 25% increased damage. Everything's going to be frozen and shocked. Everything's going to take increased damage. LE damage scaling on the tree. You're going to have that 4% or 2% penetration for each element that you're doing damage with, which is the lightning and the cold. Which really comes to doing a lot of damage, and as you can see in the map there, we did just pretty much destroy everything. There's just an average yellow T8 map, and again we are only level 79. That map got us a little over 200 mil XP an hour. The build clears incredibly well. You can, if you've got the currency, again, you can make the build incredibly more defensive. You get yourself a 6-link lightning coil. You don't have to use a tabula. I like to use a tabula. I killed a Zeri over 250 times this league in a tabula. So, tabula is my best friend. I'm the tabula man. I really do think tabula is incredible, especially because it's basically a free 6-link. You pay 14C and you get a 6-link. As far as gem links go, we are using Blast Rain to proc our Cast on Crit, with Cast on Critical Strike linked, obviously. GMP for the Freeze Pulse. Again, I think Freeze Pulse is one of the strongest Cast on Crit spells in the game. A lot of people might disagree with me on that, but just play it. You're gonna like it. Everything's frozen. We've got 51% prod speed here, 94% prod speed here. It's got 195% prod speed, I believe, or 145% prod speed. I'm sorry, which again is gonna make your freezing pulses go way off fucking screen. You're gonna freeze shit that you don't even see yet. Arc, gonna chain 7 times. You basically, when the blast rains hit, by the way, all 4 of the projectiles are gonna crit, and that's gonna be proccing it 4 times, which means your arc is gonna hit 4 times. So it's basically hitting like 28 times effectively. Which comes out to a lot of damage. You pretty much just, like I was clearing the map, you pretty much just shoot into a pack once and the entire pack is going to die. Our last link is increased crit strikes, again because CoCrain does have 5% base crit, and putting in that increased crit strike gems is going to take you from, I believe, like 55% chance to crit to about 82%, which is what we have when we're mapping. And again, we don't have the Life Leech in here, and that is because we are dual Curse Blasphemy with Assassin's Mark, Warlord's Mark. Those are other gem links. As far as everything else goes, I still got some stuff to figure out. As you can see here, and my gear is like barely linked, don't really have much gems in. You can run Valgrace, would also be a very good defensive mechanic for the build. We got the Ice Golem for more crit, more accuracy. We got Blink Arrow with faster attacks, pretty much insane move skill because of how fast Quill Rain attacks already with faster attacks. And then our last links are pretty much cast when damage taken, Immortal Call, increased duration. And that's pretty much it as far as the build goes. Honestly, guys, if I missed anything, feel free to come into the stream, which I'll link below in the description. Pretty much feel free to come ask any questions about the build in the stream, or ask any questions in the comments down below. I really hope you guys enjoyed the showcase of this build. I'm having a lot of fun with this build. Definitely one of my favorite builds of the league. I hope you guys enjoy. I will see you guys next time. Peace.